Peace. Couple more minutes in our meditation, we're gonna get started. Peace. Peace. Islam, family. Peace. Let's get into the science. I just had to get in my mantra going on. Peace. Love, truth, peace, freedom. My 2 cents. Health and wealth. I'm going to cover 2 things today. I was just going to cover that Baphomet and what Kabbalistically spelling mean and show you that's not nothing scary, but also inform you that Eliseus Levi got the wisdom where everyone got the wisdom from, Egypt. It's connotated from the god of the Nile, King Kunt. You can research this, the god of the Happy people. You must research this. No disrespect to nobody, but wisdom is connotated. This wisdom right here come from us Moors. I'm telling you, it's also the ultimate man. It's talking about the Moorish man, but it's also written Kabbalistically. You got to understand what I break things down Kabbalistically. It just means Temple of David. That's it. So I'm going to break that down, part 2. But I got to break something down because people are confusing Moorish science with, their religious perspective. And I tell my brothers and sisters, you got to understand what the triple rose is. Moors, I tell brothers and sisters, we respect and understand all the laws and the prophets. Buddha, Yahshua, which is they call Jesus, Confucius, and Muhammad. We're master navigators. So we understand the essence of all the pens. I don't get caught up in religious dogma. And when you're talking to a Moor and he gets mad, that's religious dogma when he promulgating his religious perspective. I promise you, Moors, we got to understand this. So let's give us our quick prayer, and then we're going to get into this teaching today. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I hereby inform all members that they must end all racial agitating speeches while at work or in the streets. We are for peace and not for destruction. Stop flashing your cars at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your cars is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course, Moors. Any member who or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deed. All true Moors will and must obey the laws as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in the prophet, they should turn in their cars and buttons, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where he founded. This is a holy and divine movement. Found by the prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine pleas to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. And I was just had a conversation with one of my, and I don't like to call them Mexican or Latino because we know genetically that's nothing. And European pens, no disrespect, they always connotate things. And I'm gonna call him my indigenous brother because that's what he is. He asked me, am I a Moor? I said, you exactly right. Don't be wasting your time sending your DNA to those things. That's all for entertainment purposes only. That's crap. Then they got your DNA. That's crap. I told my brother, you are indigenous. You are an indigenous to the land. That's what Mexico is all about. You ain't no Mexican. You're not no Latino. That's what the European did to disperse us. And I told my brother, check the record. You don't have to listen to nothing I say. Research this, ask your ancestors, and then do some real research. It'll get you right there. All connotated. And it was all done for a purpose. So let's get into this prayer. Because we always got to set the atmosphere with prayer. Man must always pray continuously over and over. And I'm going to touch this thing where people be trying to act like I'm going to touch it. But may the benison of Allah be upon thee and thine always, as thou should strive to be a credit to Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head in Moorish science. In Moorish science, God and man is one. We must remember that. Make haste to bestow thine acts of love upon thy brother, and doest thy best to shun thy evil ones. Remember to take suckle of the breast of knowledge, wisdom, fortitude, charity, love, and all standing, that you, me, us together might nourish the souls of all men, all women, all children. Let the truth be thy shield in the manifest battles of falsehood, Moors. Knoweth that thou needest not to pick the lock to the gates of paradise by means of petty or criminal theft, Moors. For behold, the key to thy salvation already rests within your own hands, Moors. And yes, even though a portion of our nature is weakness, instability, and inconsistency, there is still a greater part of our nature that is divine. May Allah, which is arm, leg, arm, head, may Yahweh, YHWH, that's the pantheon. We got to know this, Moors. It's in our Quran if we read. Guide thee, preserve thee, lengthen the age, and give thee everlasting peace. So let's touch on some things, man. We talk about us Moors, how we pray, and we don't get connotated with anything. Let's dig. Islam, Salam, Al-Salamun, Allah, Akum. In the Moorish Science Temple of America, Moors, we teach our members to give praise to Allah a minimum of 3 times a day, as this is what was taught coming into the movement, Moors. Now, one may give praise or go to Allah, which is the SWT. You know what that means, Moors. In prayer, anytime one feels the need. But if you feel the need to go right now, go do it, Moors. So let's talk about what we talk about as Moors. As Moors. Not with nobody connotating us, telling us. But we teach in the Moorish Science Temple to do so 3 times daily. Once when you get up in the middle of the day, and once before you lay down. Some have tried to say this is not orthodox way to perform salah, rakat, sajdah, dua, however you pronunciate it, or anything else. As this is true, Moors. How Muslims in the MSTA do things is not orthodox way, Moors. We do them the right way, according to the Holy Quran, the Al-Quran, the Al-Daim of Mecca. And anyone that has a problem with that, it's their own problem, not ours. I tell you, don't let nobody else's problem be yours, Moors, because everyone's not practicing the true what Noble Drew taught. But what I would do here for us, Moors, for further understanding, is go through the great Quran of Muhammad, Surah 1587, whatever you want to call it, chapter 1587, whatever you want to call it, and show you where we only do 3 minimum, even though I do not have a problem with no more doing 5 traditional salawats or salawats, however you want to call it, or salats. You see those in the East doing it. You can research certain things. I know people do their own research, and you should, but you can research some things and research about Islam. And you can say that you can research certain things, and people will tell you, they try to connotate you that salah is prescribed at 5 periods of the day as part of tradition. However, Moors, the Quran only calls for 3. I want you to read yourself. People always saying something in there, and then they get mad with the religious dogma when you ask them, show me. They can't. They can't. They can't. Which are measured according to the movement of the sun, Moors. These are near dawn, which is F-A-G-R, Farj, just after the sun, noon, Dhuhr, D-H-U-H-R, in the afternoon, Asr, or S-F, or A-S-R, just after sunset, Maghrib, or Maghrib, however you pronunciate it. Yeah, Islam, more Islam. He like, man, you illuminating it. I have to. I don't hide nothing from my brothers, man. Okay, let me go back to where I was at. Okay, ba 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 ba. Okay, and around nightfall, Isha, I-S-H-A. and then apostrophe A. Yep, that's right. Under some circumstances, prayers can be shortened or combined according to prescribed procedures, Moors. Prayers can be missed in serious cases, but remember, they should be made up later. I want you to research this, Moors. You don't got to listen to nothing I say. You don't got to listen to nothing I say. Yep. Okay. Okay. That's right. Now, listen what I'm saying and follow the context of what I'm saying. Know that it says that the 5 days Salawat are part of tradition, meaning they are not actually laws. We talk about laws, man. I keep telling y'all, you got the words mean things. They spells. Laws, Fard or Halal, H-A-L-A-H, however you pronunciate it. They do not have to be performed according to the Quran or the Quran. Notice it almost mentioned that only 3 periods of the time are mentioned. And if you look, Moors, you will see nowhere in the Quran does it say you have to perform a ritual of Qiyam, Ruko, Qiyam, Sadah, Jalsa, etc., Moors, etc. I'm telling you, because people getting you their dogma. Oh yeah, Mo, I'm gonna go there. I'm going there. I'm gonna go there. But if I go on the other one, I'm gonna have to break the other one down, man, because I have to do that one tomorrow. I'm gonna touch on this one today. I got a whole nother. I'm gonna break that down. We getting it wrong. You're exactly right, Mo. The 5 or the 7 pillars as pillars is not found in the Quran with the K or the Q. Research it, Moors. All of this tradition, not law. And in the Arabic, it's F-A-R-D or H-A-L-A-L. That's law. Now pay attention to this portion, Moors, when you can research. The salat of one Muslim may differ from another in minor details, Moors, which can affect the precise actions and words involved. Differences arise because of different interpretations of the Islamic legal sources by the different madhabs. Well, that's the school of law, Moor. In Sunni Islam, and by different legal traditions, with Shiism. In case of salat, these differences are generally very minor, and they are not necessarily causes of dispute, Moors. It is important to note the reason why Sunni Muslims have a basic agreement on the necessary part of the prayer, Moors. Muslims believe that the Prophet Muhammad practiced, taught, and disseminated the worship ritual to the whole community and made it part of their life. The practice has, Moors, been concurrently and perpetually practiced by the community in each of the generations. Are we going to touch this, Moors? Its basic form, the Salah, is not based on the Hadith or the Quran, but on the consciousness of Muslims. You got to remember this. Differences also occur due to optional, like recommended rather than obligated, Moors. Articles of Salah, for example, which verse of the Quran to recite, right, Moors? The different performance of Salah varies from one Muslim group to another. Why, you may ask, Brother Bay? Because it is not in the Quran, the K or the Q. It is only tradition, Moors. And the most universally accepted tradition is called what? Orthodox. But that doesn't make it right. Only the Quran can make it law. Fard or halal. Like when Noble Ali told you, I gave you Jesus because that's what you know. That don't mean it's right. That was what accepted. But not from us. We teach the truth. Know that it says Muslims, M-U-S-L-I-M-S, believe that the Prophet Muhammad practiced, taught, etc. It does not say they have actual record of this, Moors, which is why the Salat varies from one to another. Are we clear, Moors? Because they are putting different pieces together in order to create their own idea of Salat, Moors. I'm telling you. Can't get mad. People get mad when it's religious dogma. Truth has no sides. And notice more that also says in its basic form, the Salah is not based on the Hadith or the Hados or the Quran. So think on that for a second, Moors. Think on that just for 1 second. Then what is the source of information? Because they will act like you must do it how they say or you're going to hell. Right, Moors? Right? Come on, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Now, let's look at the fact, the number of regular salats mentioned by the respective name in Arabic in the Quran are 3 as follows. We know this. Salat Fard, meaning dawn prayer. You can find that. Salat 2458. Salat al-Wusta, which is middle prayer. You can find that in Salat, in Surah 2:38 and 17:78. And it's the Salat Isa, that night and evening prayer. You can find that at 24:58. I'm telling you, Moors, go to these ayats, which are verses and signs, and you will not see any specific way of performing these salat, Moors. Notice that carefully as well. There is no mention on how to make a raka or a rakat, which is a ritualized ruku. In fact, the word rakat is only speaking of ruku, not qiyam, sajda, or jalsa, Moors. So we got to think about this deeply. If you don't know the language, they're going to get you. That's why I tell you, you must know the language. You must know the language. Now, the following 3 salats, which are not mentioned in the Quran by their names as a salat in Arabic, they are Salat Dur, S-A-L-A-T-D-H-U-R, Salat Esr, S-A-L-A-T-A-S-R, Salat Maghrib, S-A-L-A-T-M-A-G-H-R-I-B. Maghrib does not mean sunset, Moors. It means west. Are we clear? Research it. Maghrib does not mean sunset. It means west. Research it, Moors. I'm telling you. Exactly, Moor. I keep telling people they write themselves in it. It's a spell. It's a spell. You don't get it? It's a spell. We don't get this. Just like when I tell people when you research black, bleak, this is a replacement. But that's a whole nother lecture, Mo. However, others argue words D-H-U-H-R, Dahar, Asar, and Maghrib are used in the Quran, but not as a term defining salat, Moors. The word noon is used, but not as a salat time, Moors, or rather salat al-Dura, but rather than as a time of privacy, rest, time. Research it. Surah 24:58. Salat Dura is a time of rest. And that's it, Moors. Think about it. Think about it. And now read the ayat and see how they are spoken of, Moors. And I want you to pay careful attention to 1778. Aqimi al-Salata li Buluki. I'm reading. Y'all don't even know. I'm gonna read it in English because I've been and read it all in Arabic, and everybody be like, "What are you talking about?" But I'll read it anyway. No, I won't. Yusuf Ali, that's one of the writers, established regular prayers at the sun's decline till the dark of night, and the morning prayer and reading for the prayer and reading in the morning carry their testimony. Pikhal, which was another writer, research him, established worship at the going down of the sun until the dark of night, and the recital of the Quran at dawn. Lo, the recital of the Quran at dawn is ever witness, Moors. Exactly. Mo, this is why I say I don't get caught up in religious dogma. If they don't know time periods, they lost. I keep telling people, you got to understand when Muhammad walked the earth, who did he marry? Who was his wife? Khadijah. Who was she? Roman Catholic. Weragua, high priestess, her cousin, high Roman Catholic. I mean, come on. If you get certain texts, read the book of God and Seer. It tell you what Mystery Babylon is. It tell you that Roman Catholic and Islam conspired together. But you have to listen to me. You have to listen to nothing I say. The Shakir, the S-H-A-K-I-R, which was another one, is to keep up prayer from the declining of the sun till the darkness of the night and the morning recitation. Surely the morning recitation is witness, Moors. Shakir, however you pronunciate it. Keep up prayer from the declining of the sun till the darkness of the night and the morning recitation. Perform the salat, al-salat, to descending the sun, al-shamish, A-L-S-H-A-M-S-I, Moors, to the darkness of the night, al-layli, and Quran, the morning, Al-Fari. Verily, Quran in the morning, Al-Fari Moors will be Moors. Let me tell Moors things. When people try to get you with that religious dogma, and I break down first century how the pen was changed, and from their writers, from their so-called Arab writers, they tell you how it was changed because nobody wanted to worship a brown a prophet. It's just facts. The pen was changed from short and brown to tall and white, and that's how they changed it in Hadith as well, just like all the religious books. But when you're a philosopher and you introduce to the history, their pen to tell you. I got all the books on the research, all the scholar name, they tell you. Their pen tell you. They tell you. So it's nothing even to debate. It's just laughable. Let's see where we are. Okay. The word duluk, D-U-L-U-K, or duluk, means to rub Moors. D-U-L-U-K. It means to rub Moors, and represents when the sun is burning the horizon at sunset. Translated as established, the Salat, at the descending of the sun. Remember, this is late afternoon, after the sun was at its highest, and is headed to sunset and the darkness of night. This would also be considered the wusta, the middle, when you are standing, kumu, at. While the morning is used here primarily for reading the Quran Moors. Hafidu, Allah, al, sawadi, wa al, saladi, al, wusta, wa kumu, lahali, kanitina, Yusufali, guard strictly your habit of prayers, especially the middle prayer, and stand before Allah in a devote, which is the right frame mind. Pictal, be guardians of your prayers and of the mind and of the midmost prayer, and stand up with devotion to Allah. Succor, attend consistently to prayer and to the middle prayer, and stand up truly obedient to Allah. Protect the hafdu, the H-A-F-I-D-H-U, over the salat, or the al-salat, and the salat of the middle, al-wusta, and stand toward before facing Allah. You know, in parentheses, we have the SWT. I know you know what that means, without speaking. Protect. Oh, let me go back down. My brother like, man, why? Well, now here come on, my brother like, why people lie to us? I don't know, Mo. That's why I say you got to check the source. I'm not here to promote no religion. I tell people I'm a Moor. I'm a Moor American. My religion is Islamism. I study all religious books. I have them all. I teach this on college campuses. No matter if you're mad or not, I teach it the right way. I teach dispensations. I teach about the antiquity times. I teach about medieval. I teach about the dark ages, the middle times, all of it. So don't make me no difference. But here we see Salat is done standing. If you will remember above, Moors, when you can research things, when you research online, it mentions other forms of positions of praise and respect, such as Sajda, S-A-J-D-A-H, which mean prostrating, and Ruko, bowing. But here it specifically notes that the al-Salat is standing before Allah in silence, Moors. Think on this. Think of it in the Holy Quran, the Moorish Temple of America, 11, when speaking of Elohim. Come on, Moors, connect the dots. 2458. Ya, Ayuya, Altina, Amun, Liesta, Tinkuma, Alatina, Malaka. Oh, I'll read it in ink, my bad. Yusuf Ali. What it's saying is, O ye who believe, let those whom your right hands possess, and the children among you who have not come of age ask your permissions before they come to your presence on 3 occasions, on 3 occasions, on 3 occasions, before morning prayer, while ye doff your clothes for the noonday heat, and after the late night prayer. These are your 3 times of undress. Outside those times is not wrong for you or for them to move about attending to each other Moors. Thus, does Allah make clear the signs to us For Allah is full of knowledge and wisdom. That's why I tell brothers when they say, "Oh, somebody told me this," I said, Allah didn't tell them that to tell you that. I tell more in more science, Allah and man is one. A person supposed to be coming with wisdom for you can navigate, not telling you. They should give it to you because man know nothing by somebody telling them. Pictal. O ye who believe, let your slaves and those of listen to this. Listen to this part, Morris. You got to get this. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. It's like in the religious Bible, it tell you in the scriptures that you are gods. In the scripture, it tell you that you don't come to Yahshua say you don't have to come to me to talk to the Creator. You made this type of image. I'm telling you. So let's read this. Pictal, O ye who believe, let your slaves, listen to this. O ye who believe, O ye who believe, listen to this. O ye who believe, this is so prophetic. Let your slaves and those of you who have not come to puberty ask leave of you at 3 times before they come into your presence, before the prayer of dawn, and when ye lay aside your remnant for the heat of noon, and after the prayer of night, 3 times of privacy for you. 3 times of privacy for you. Us, we are gods. Do you hear me? It is not sin for them or for you at other times when some of you go around attendant upon others. If they come into your presence without leave, Moors, thus Allah make clear the revelations of you. Allah is knower, wise, Shakir. O you who believe, let those whom your right hands possess and those of you who have not attended to puberty ask permission of you 3 times before the morning prayer, and when you put off your clothes at midday in summer, and after the prayer of the nightfall. These are the 3 times of privacy for you. Neither is it a sin for you nor for them. Besides these, some of you must go around about waiting. Why do you think they go around about? Come on, man. Y'all got to understand this, which means nothing. Thus does Allah make clear to you the communications, and Allah is knowing, wise. Exactly. Oh yeah, we touching Morris. And when he talk about your own personal fig tree, he's talking about not something you do on your own. He's talking about obeying your mothers, your forefathers, and your foremothers. Because we don't do things like they used to do on Sesame Street. One of these kids is doing their own thing. Now, no, that ain't what we talk about. What we're talking about is we obeying our forefathers and our foremothers. Meaning when we do that, we all on one accord. That's the wisdom. We don't go off and do our own thing. We do exactly what we're supposed to do. Obey our forefathers and our foremothers and do what we right because we are Moors. So above, I mentioned the salawats or the salats. Salati al-Farig, morning salat. Salat al-Asha, evening salat. This is the only one that actually mentions a morning salat and an actual evening salat, Moors. So now I might say that Salat al-Asha is al-Salat al-Wusta, because if they really wanted to say nighttime Salat, which is worship, it will be Laylil or Lali, Layli, Moors. So really, I see the possibility of only 2 worships. But I am more than willing, Moors, to see all these as 3 different Salat. I can see it. That's why I say I study. I here to build bridges, not walls. So we have Salat al-Fari, Salat al-Wusta, Salat al-Asha. And these should be performed while standing, not prostrating or bowing, because Salat, which is worship, is done standing according to the Quran. I don't care if you got it with the K or the Q. But the Muslims in the East have added all of the different positions mentioned in the Quran, K or the Q, and make up a rakat, a ritualized performance of different positions, Moors. And they know this. This is why they start out in Qiyam. And Qiyam, Qiyyam, is the only position done twice in a rakat, because it is the only position that is prescribed by the Quran during Salat, Moors. While at one times, ones are called the the shada, prostrating, and ruku, bowing. I'll cover that. We'll cover that later. You can research the very fact, what I'm saying. Some Quranists, however, believe that there are only 2 salats, dawn and dusk, including 3 times of night closed to these 2 periods Moors. This is based on there being no specific reference to a noon or afternoon prayer in the Quran Moors, and the meaning of wusta as middling, moderate, not extreme Moors, referring to how one is to pray, or referring to being modest about one's prayer Moors. The word al-wusta can even mean the best. There is no conscience among Quranists as to the correct number. There's no consensus. There's nobody can say this is the correct number of prayer. If they tell that, they lying. Quranists is a name given to those Muslims that only follow the Quran, K, not the books called the Hadith of the Muhammad, which is the Asa, and not the books called the Sunnah of Muhammad, the Asa. Both of those being put together by men after Muhammad had long been gone, Moors. Always remember, Moors, that what is being called Sunnah of Muhammad is really a collection of things taken out of the Hadith. There is no real separate book written by Muhammad called his Sunnah, Moors. The Muslims of the East took different things about Muhammad's life out of the Hadith and called it the Sunnah, tradition, customs, way of life. Come on, Moors, do your study. Research it. Research it. So really there is only the Hadith and the Quran, Al-Quran, Al-Adiyam, and the Quran, K, is the best of the Hadith. In fact, Moors, for Allah's temple, for Moors, it is the only true Hadith, which is the oral statements that matter. I hope you understand what I'm saying, Moors. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope you understand me. So really, Moors, there is only the Hadith and the Quran. We do not follow what they call the mere ideas of men, like the Pika or Fiqh, but it's pronounced Pika, Phekah. That is in existence today among most of the Muslims in the East Moors. And let me also say one point. The Pika is not about intellectually understanding the laws of Islam. It is about intellectually. It is not about that. But it's all of the laws of Islam are found in the Quran, not in any other source. The other sources all receive their knowledge, the wisdom and understanding of Islam from the Quran, the complete Quran. Stop letting people with their religious dogma about Islam or laws of Islam outside the Quran. Not that the religion did not begin from that, Moors, but we will not really be able to recognize what is Islam and what is not without a guide used to measure. What y'all think when I talk about our map is? What you think the map is? The map, Moorish American prayer, the map. Come on, Moors. We got to use the guide used to measure truth from falsehood, right from wrong, truth from error. This is why we were given a Quran, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America in the first place, Moors, so we can use it for this very purpose. Sarah or Sarah is not found in the Quran. Hadith is not found in the Quran. Sunnah is not found in the Quran. ECT, Moors, unless it is the Sarah, Hadith, and the Sunnah of Allah himself. That's the only thing Muslims are worried about, Moors. Now, follow me. Notice al-Salat, al-Wusta, the word Wusta. It's not a time of day like Fajr, F-A-G-R, means morning, and Asha means evening. Why not call it Salat al-Noon or Dur, D-H-U-R? Answer yourself that question. Al-Salat, al-Wusta is in the only one that has a position mentioned with it. Standing, Kuma, Q-U-W-M-U, Moors. It should also not be surprised that this is the only one called Al-Salat, Moors. Meaning it is the only one seen as an institution, while the other two are simply called Salat, not Al-Salat. Remember that? Thus, it's just worship, meaning worship in the morning and worship in the evening, not a specific morning worship and a specific evening worship. Are we clear, Moors? Where, honey? That don't work.
It doesn't?
No, use that white one somewhere. I don't know where I put it. But yeah, so let's do this, Moors. Notice how the Al-Sawat, how they say it's in the day, and what that means. Kum means standing. And it shouldn't be no surprise, Moors, that this is the only one called Al-Salat, meaning it is the only one seen as an institution. Moors, are we clear? We got to understand this. So watch this. Watch this. This is going to be good. Are you ready? It should not be surprising, Moors. It should not be surprising, Moors. Al-Salat al-Wusta is the only one mentioned, or the only one that has a position mentioned with it and is standing. It should also be to no surprise, Moors, that this is the only one called Al-Salat, meaning it is the only one seen as an institution, Moors. Are we clear? And if you really want to be honest, it says, and I quote, "Let your servant go worship while you use that time for yourself away from them." But if this was about Muslims, all of Muslims worship together, don't they? Don't they? Did you hear what I said? God don't hear me. Let your servant go worship while you use that time for yourself away from them. Y'all don't hear me. And isn't strange to you, Moors, that out of the 114 chapters and all of the thousands of verses, Moors, only 3 verses mention Salat at all? But we are supposed to be doing these 5 times a day, every day, for the rest of our lives. We are supposed to perform certain acts that we cannot even find in the Quran. I don't care what you spell it with, the K or the Q. If it was that important, Moors, to do it the way they have made up, wouldn't it be all over the Quran? Wouldn't it be all over the Quran? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself some questions. We philosophers, we ask questions. I keep telling you, you must ask. When somebody give you an answer, that don't mean it's right. You better research that answer. And so you can see that as what I'm saying, Moors, we perform Salat every Friday evening, every night, Asha, at the Holy Day meeting, and at every Sunday school, Noon Wusta, when we stand in Salat before Allah. And the worship we do at every Friday meeting and Sunday school should be done every day. Every day. Like one is at Sunday school and Friday service. Every day. You are a Muslim. Every day. Oh, you not? Oh, you only a couple days a week. Bullcrap. That's why I said man must pray continuously. You are a Muslim. You are a Moor every day, not only Friday or Sunday. So you shouldn't only be performing your Salat on Friday and Sunday, but every day that you are a Muslim, you should perform your Salat al-Far, your Salat al-Wusta, your Salat al-Asha. Worship your Father Allah when you wake up in the morning. Sometime from sunrise to noon, Moors, in the middle, sometime between noon to sunset of the day, and in the evening night, sometime after sunset, before you go to bed, Moors. You are supposed to stand before Allah's face in everything you think, say, and do. And this is called Asan or Asin. They spell it I-H-S-A-N, but it's pronounced A-H-S-A-N. The very best action. The very best action. You put your best foot forward. See, ain't nobody gonna tell you about the signs and symbols. Why your left foot forward and your right foot back? These are all signs. Why you think in the army they say left, 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 right, left? I'm telling you, it's all our science. Why you think King Menkaure in Egypt, his left foot forward? Come on, man. Y'all got to understand certain things. We're supposed to stand before Allah's face in everything that we do. think, say. That's how we love our one. I tell brothers, the woman is Maya, the God that produced food and life. What you think that fed is about? I keep hearing more telling the women, that's them. We represent them. And we twisting this, man. And when standing that salat, you are supposed to speak a certain tone of voice, a certain tone when I say vibrations. Surah 17, 110. Kuli, Aro, Allah, Awi, Ado, Al-Rahama, Ayan, Ma, Taro, Falum, Al-Saman, Al-Suna, Wala, Tara, Bish Kaleta, Wa Turfit, Biha, with body, Banya, Talika, Sabine Lion. So that's the Yusufanli. That's a prayer. And it say, call upon Allah or call upon Rahman by whatever name ye call upon him. That's why in the circus of the Quran, what it say, Moors? It say, no matter what name you say, you name it. You praising Allah. Let me say it to you again. The Yusufali say, call upon Allah or call upon Rahman by whatever name ye call upon him. It is well, Moors, for to him belong the most beautiful names. Do you know the 99 names of Allah? We getting it twisted. We getting it twisted. Neither speak thy prayer aloud, nor speak it in a low tone, but seek a middle course between Moors. Pick out, say unto mankind, cry unto Allah, or cry unto the benefit, unto whichsoever ye cry. It is the same. Cry unto the beneficent. It's the same. His are the most beautiful names. And thou, Muhammad, be not loud voice in thy worship, nor yet silent therein, Moors, but follow a way between Moors. The soccer say, call upon Allah or call upon the benefit, Allah, or the beneficent. Whichever you call upon, he has the best names. And do not utter your prayer with a very raised voice, nor be silent with regard to it. And seek a way between these. And so Muslims of the MSTA fulfill all of this to the letter, Moors. Don't we? Don't we? It also says in the Quran, K to Q, Surah 38, 32, whatever you want to call it. Fakala Ini, Abatu, Haba, Al, Kari, An, Tikri, Rabi, Hara, Torada, B, Al, Hijabi. That's the Yusufali. And he said, truly do I love the love of good with a view to the glory of my Lord until the sun has hidden the veil of night. Pikal. And he said, lo, have preferred the good things of the world to the remembrance of my Lord till they were taken out of sight behind the curtain. The shaker. Then he said, surely I prefer the good things to the remembrance of my Lord until the sunset and time for Asar. Prayer was over, he said, Morris. We almost done. So, more, what we got to do is notice the Shakers version says time for Asar or ASR, which is prayer. But in the Quran, KRQ, it doesn't say Salat or ASR, Asar, whatever you want to pronunciate it. Look at it for yourself, Moors. He had to add that in there. And there are other areas in the Quran versions you will see the same thing being done in English, but in the Arabian, which is the Gulf Arabic, you won't find it, Moors. Exactly, Mo. It's all a science. It's more names. Exactly, Mo. Exactly. This is why we do not follow the Oriental idea of Islam. We follow the Quran of Islam, or we follow the Quran idea of Islam, Moors. Follow me. According to what we hear in the North, Central, and South America from the Moorish descent. From the Moorish descent. Not what someone else tradition says, as I continue to tell people. Barada was dead, Moors. And this understanding is the root, the source, and cause of all Moorish Quran thought, the foundation of our new Moorish worldview, Moors. So as we can see, you can view more clearly that the F-A-J-R, the Farj or the Farij, is the sunrise, the Zuhr, the Z-U-H-R, noon, A-S-R, Asar, Azar, before sunset, Maghrib is the sunset, Asha or Isha, after the sunset, Moors. They are not all seen found in the Quran. And yet, if you will notice, Moors, in Al-Islam, they keep you focused on prayers more than anything else. But 99% of what they have you perform cannot be found in the Holy Quran of Mecca. Research it. Research it. You can also find some groups like the Al-Quran and the submitters believe that the 5 Salat, as they are practiced by Muslims today, Moors, were passed down from Abraham generationally through the Arabs or the Arabs and the children of Israel, to then be inherited by those who adopt the Quran and rejected by most Jews and Christians as a ritual of their religion of Abraham. Are you following me, Moors? The group called itself Ali al-Quran. It means the people of the Quran, which is what all Muslims are supposed to be, which is why it is, which is why it was sent to us in the first place, Moors. I keep telling us Islam is ours. That's why we don't recognize it. Because you under somebody else's divine creed. You follow somebody else's forefathers. The Rakat, or the R-A-K-A-T, as it exists today, Moors, came from the Hebrews that lived in the Muslim communities. It is a practice called Shamay or Shamay, S-H-A-M-A-E, which literally means to be heard, Moors, meaning to be heard by Allah, by God. And they basically do all of the same positions seen in the Rakat, Moors. But even with the Hebrews, it is customary, Moors. It is a tradition, and a Hebrew is the only do it when they feel is necessary or at a specific occasion, Moors. It is not something you do all day, every day. And as a matter of fact, Moors, if you would pay attention, the Hebrews or those who follow them like the Jews all pray standing up in their religion every day, worship, Moors. Yes, I break all the Sufism down for them. I told one of my brothers, you know what? Let me give you something, because I share everything with family. I'm gonna touch on this. Let me see if I got it. One of my Sufi teachers, and I don't even know if I got his book. Man, I have to send it to you. Research Sufis by Idris Shah, Idrishaha. You know, Morris, when people be disrespect saying that, oh, we Sufism. No, we dryly practice Sufism. We got to know this. We got to know this science, man. We got to know what the swirling mean and all that. We got to know what it means. So let's see. Okay. So Morris, please remember that all of the Muslims are all Hebrews by practice. We connect the dots, Morris. Somebody connotating you. Just like I was telling my indigenous brother. He was like, am I Mexican, Latino? No, you indigenous. Do the research. Do the research. Do the research. Genetically, there's no such thing as Latino or Mexican. That's what the European did. You are an Aboriginal. Facts. Facts. But they won't tell you of this, Morris, because it is a method of control what people like to have over people. You know what I'm saying? They have you constantly performing, practicing all kinds of things that have no benefit and to no betterment of the performer or the practicer. These things do not make you faster, smarter, stronger, richer, nothing. They don't make you sincere, and they don't make Allah love you more. It is all for outward show, Morris. That's what carnal ordinances is. I got my chart up there. I have to break it down for you. That's what carnal ordinances is. Outward appreciation. Even the shaman of the Hebrews is usually performed in private, not in public, around a bunch of people. And last thing, more that I want to point out, when you can research, some extreme elements totally disavow prayer altogether through different interpretation of the word salat, Moors. And one reported obscure source claimed to be a Slavic or Arab dictionary source of the report. And you can research, the word is reported to mean obligation. Some erroneously see the word salat as a root word of wasala. It's not a derivation. It's not defined as to connect or arrive. And one of its corresponding nouns, salah, meaning connect, Moors. The word does have a meaning of to follow close behind. And you can research that in Lane's lexicon. That's why I say you always have to have a lexicon. And you always want to go with the payload, the oldest, because these modern Hebrew and these modern Arabic, that's a mixture of European tongues, Germanic stuff, or Germanic languages. But other meanings not based on a classical Arabic dictionaries, and they stray far from the concept of prayer, Moors. They have been proposed of the word within Quranic circles, Moors. So now we got to understand, we can agree to disagree. I disagree with not giving praise to Allah at these times, but they are right about the idea of salat having more to do with worship, working for than just praying. The root, Moors, of the word worship, it literally means an act of service, a worthy act. When I tell Moors love, all love, well, that's an action word. Don't tell me that. Show me. Your actions show me everything. I don't care about your fairs. I don't care if you got all this, what I got on. That don't mean nothing to me. Your actions mean it. And a lot of Moors, they're not righteous. This is the divine creed and nationality. But Allah is the master. Listen to this. Listen to me. If in Moorish science, if we say arm, leg, arm, head, in Moorish science, Allah and man is one, we agree to that, right? Okay, listen to me. Allah, which is why the master was told to relax while the servants were away taking care of their salat, which obviously was going to take some time to do. So in the most secular form, Moors, the word salat can be seen as a set of jobs given to a servant by his master that must be performed every day. And this connection or following, Moors, behind is where the word ritual from rite originates. If you know what rite means, I hope you know what it means, R-I-T-E. I hope you do. Anyway, Moors, it should not be strange to anyone that if we do our salat, our dua, etc., according to the Holy Quran of Mecca, that we won't be doing 99.99% of the things they have people doing in the Sunni, in the Shiite, and the so-called other sects of Islam, even in the Sufi sects of Islam. They will not like me saying that, but they will not be able to prove nothing what I'm saying is wrong. And you can bank on that. You can bank on that. More to the core, man. I'm more to the core. Islamism forever, Moors. Peace. Salua wa alaikum al salam. Allah. Aya asha aya. Shalom alakim. Come on, Moors. Love, which is Pinda. P-E-N-D-A. Truth, which is Ukwila or Ukwila. U-K-W-E-L-I. Peace, which is Salu or Salua. S-U-L-U-H-U. Freedom, which is Yura or Yuru. U-H-U-R-U. And justice, Moors, which is Haki or Hakai. H-A-K-I. I love you all, Moors. Research. Oh, my brother, like, man, would you please touch on that the Baphomet? All right, man. Let me make sure my meal ain't cold and I'll touch on that, because I'm more like, please touch on that. I will. So what we're gonna do, Morris, I'm gonna make that a part 2. So I'm gonna stop, and I want y'all to log back on if you want me to touch on that Baphomet, how it's spelled Kabbalistically, And so that's going to be part 2. And so log back on if you want to hear that. That's right. That's right, Mo. That's right, Mo. I love you all. So if y'all want to hear about this Baphomet, how people are connotating you, telling you this something scary, and it's not nothing scary. Eliseus Levi connotated that. It come from Egypt. He stole it from the king of the river Nile, the god of the river Nile, the Hopi people. Research that. So log back on. We about to teach this wisdom. Peace.